Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Coming up this week, prices for a one-day ticket at the Magic Kingdom could go as high as $105 if rumors are correct. Disney Cruise Line announces Star Wars Day at Sea in 2016, and a Houston, Texas family is walking from Disneyland to Walt Disney World. We'll tell you why. Also, I'm going to share my thoughts about Best Friends Pet Care, the kennel service at Walt Disney World. And in our segment this week, Dustin and the team are going to talk about some clever items you might want to consider packing. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. For your next...
It won't shut up.
Okay. Okay. So, coming up later, Dustin and the team are going to talk about some clever items you might want to pack for your next Walt Disney World vacation. Coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 777, for the week of February 15th, 2015. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends Kathy Whirling, Rhino Clavin, Jenny Lynn Knopp, Teresa Eccles, our producer, Dustin West, and our associate producer, Craig Williams, back in the Peanut Gallery, or the Nook. We don't call it the Peanut Gallery anymore.
Wow, flashback.
Yeah. I haven't said that in years.
Years.
Well, I'm all thrown off because Rhino was monitoring the chat room on his iPad, and he had the volume up. So all of a sudden, in the middle of my intro, I start hearing myself 10 seconds ago. So that's what threw us off on the intro there for those who were not watching. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Excited to be here this week. We've got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of stuff to go over in housekeeping, starting off with our 7 Resorts in 7 Days series, which began yesterday, Monday the 16th, and is going to continue through Sunday. We're putting up new shows, new content. Some of you got lucky and benefited from a little mistake we made over the weekend when we published all 7 of the audio feeds. And so a bunch of people got those. That was Dustin's fault.
Yeah, that was totally my fault.
Totally
I apologize for that. But if you're looking for them now, and I posted on the boards because a few people were asking about it. They were put up, then they were taken down, but now they're going to be released one every day.
Some people got them and downloaded them all then?
Yeah, iTunes automatically downloads. If you're subscribed and you have that setting turned on, it'll automatically download the most recent or all of them, however you have it set. So, yeah.
And we've already got we already had somebody call us out for a correction. During the Polynesian review that we did, that went up today, I mentioned that there were hot tubs on the patio on the deck of the bungalows at the Polynesian. They are not hot tubs. They are, in fact, cold plunge pools. They're not heated. So why the heck you'd want that? I don't know.
Well, that changes things.
But all right. Also, I need to. I really need to reach out to everybody and ask for your help on something. The Richmond, Virginia meet is happening April 10th through the 12th. And signups have been kind of slow. And I got to be honest with you. I am so excited about this meet. Richmond is an incredible, incredible city. And Melissa Margison is working her tail off putting this together. She has got a great weekend planned for this. And it always kind of bothers me when, because a lot of times what will happen is people will sign up at the last minute. But I think in order to secure some of the venues and things that she wants to do, we need more signups to happen more quickly. Most of the team, myself, Dustin included, are going to be there for this. We are going to be doing a show from the meet, and I need you guys to step up. So if you are within a reasonable drive and I'm talking to you, New Jersey, of Richmond, Virginia. It's going to be a great weekend, April 10th through the 12th, and I'm personally asking everyone for their support. We're going to have a link on the show notes page, disunplugged.com, where you can find out all the information, all the details about this meet. But I would really like to ask for your help. I want to see this meet succeed. This is to raise money for Give Kids the World. Most of you know that. Those of you who don't, this is an organization that helps children with life-threatening illnesses that want to visit Disney World. So when a child goes to make a wish for a wish, and they say Disney World, they send them to Give Kids the World. This is the best rated charity in terms of its management in the United States. 95 cents out of every dollar that is donated goes directly to the mission. Only 5% is held back for fundraising, marketing, and salaries. 5%. Unheard of. Unheard of. It's an amazing organization. It's a great way to meet other Dizzers, share our love for Disney together in an absolutely beautiful city, and meet members of the team and be there to see a show. So I'm asking you, please, if you are in the Virginia area, a reasonable drive, or even if you're not, there are worse things you could do with a weekend than come out, join friends, meet some new friends, and help us raise money for a really worthwhile organization. So it's the Richmond, Virginia Diz Meet to raise money for Give Kids the World, April 10th through the 12th. You rarely hear me make pitches like this for these meets, but this is important. It's important to me.
And to me as well. I mean, I'm not originally from Richmond. I grew up in Lynchburg, but spent many years in Richmond. And if you guys are like afraid of like going down south to Virginia, it's not really the south. I came from there. I turned out all right. So if you're worried about that, show. Oh man.
I've never been to Richmond. That's
It's
one
cool.
of the states I've never been to Virginia.
I've been there. I went there once. Fell in love with this. And if you're like me and you like nice hotels, the Jefferson in Richmond.
I stayed in that. But I was driving back from Massachusetts from the holiday, and we just happened to look up, and I was like, "Oh, we're in Richmond," and I knew Dustin was from Richmond, so I was like, "Well, not too shady, I guess." And we got a deal to stay in the Jefferson. It was amazing. Like I was like, we should just stay an extra day.
The staircase in that lobby is the one that inspired the staircase in Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
Because Margaret Mitchell was staying in that hotel when she wrote Gone with the Wind. So that staircase that staircase was the inspiration for the staircase in Tara. So
Okay, I think I might go.
It's a
you are going.
beautiful.
Oh, am I going? Okay, I'll go.
I don't know that I'm going to put you up in the. I'm not sure I'm putting.
Well, no, I
you
can
up in
go
the-
see it though, right?
I may let you in the lobby. I don't know.
Oh.
It depends. So, all right. So, Richmond, Virginia meet April 10th through the 12th. I also want to mention that we have been testing over the last few weeks some new things. Mainly, we are testing out broadcasting live on YouTube simultaneously with our live broadcast on live stream. If everything goes well, we'll be doing that for real next week. So we are not replacing live stream. We are still going to be going out on live stream the way we do. This is just something in addition to that. The reason for that is that it makes these guys' jobs a lot easier at the end of a show. It takes a long time to get the shows prepped and ready to upload to YouTube. By broadcasting live on YouTube, the shows are already there. So that's the main reason for it. It's not because we have a problem with live stream, but that's the main reason for it. Also, we have been testing out broadcasting live audio on Mixlr.com. And that's MIXLR.com. And if everybody doesn't shut their damn phones and iPads off,
Sorry.
I'm going to beat you over the head with them.
I was just looking for chat.
So, Mixlr.com next week as well. If everything goes all right, I think we're in pretty good shape. We've been testing it out for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So, if everything goes all right today, we'll be doing that next week. We'll be posting information on the show notes page and on our Facebook page, facebook.com/DizUnplugged. Now, speaking of Mixlr, you can also head over to Mixlr and listen live to the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged. every Sunday night, 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. And, I keep doing this. He sent me the synopsis, and I didn't put it in my script. I love you, Tom. I really do. It's not personal.
I delete his emails.
All right, I have it here.
Go ahead.
On this week's Disneyland Edition, Amy and Darby return for more help planning their Southern California vacation, and the team reminisces.
Amy and Darby are lazy. Just plan your own vacation. Stop making them do it for you. I'm kidding.
And the team reminisces about the Disneyland's 50th birthday celebration and compares it to what's coming up for the 60th. Yep, and just a side note, February 17th is the 4th anniversary
You
of the
took my
Disneyland.
thunder. That much I remembered.
Okay, I was just reading from the email.
The 4th, today is the 4th anniversary of the Disneyland Edition podcast.
Wow.
So 4 years they've been doing a great job. So congratulations to our colleagues out on the left coast. Always doing a great job. It is a great show. I really encourage you to check it out, especially this year with everything going on with the 60th. They've got so much to cover and so much to talk about, and we're all going to be out there a little less than a month from now.
Pretty darn soon.
So doing another 7 and 7, this time in California. Also, tomorrow, Wednesday, every Wednesday, live 1 p.m. Eastern, The Trip with Jenny Lynn Knopp and Teresa Ackles. And what is it you are talking about this week?
Tell us, Jenny Lynn.
In other words, it's Tuesday and they have no idea.
No, we know.
No, we know.
It's just a little.
This week's
Funky at the
episode
moment.
is definitely for Disney fans. We're going to be talking about how to bring your Disney vacation home with you in the aspect of romance, because we're still in February.
Okay.
We need to get out of February quick. I'm about over the romance. I'm sorry. I can only take so much of it. And this week was a big stretch for me.
That was a good show,
Yes.
though.
Yes, Teresa has been pushing her boundaries a little bit with this show.
Yeah, good luck with the video this week, Dustin. It's a short. It'll be fine.
Look at his
Okay.
face.
It'll be fine.
We never know what's going to happen on this show.
All right, so that is tomorrow, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, live, disunplugged.com. And on Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, live, disunplugged.com, the Universal Show with Craig and Rhino and Jenny Lynn. And is Julie joining us this week?
Yep, this week Julie is apparently over the flu, and Corey will be back from Mardi Gras, so she can have fun with us.
And what is it you're talking about this week?
In the past month, we did a Universal Studios and an Islands of Adventure 101 where we briefly went over everything involved. So this week we're going to kind of tie that all together, and inspired by some of the bracket segments that Dustin's done on this show and sports have done for eons in terms of
It was my idea.
championships. It was your idea first, and then sports stole it from you. We are going to then now narrow all of those things down and figure out the best and worst attractions. So, that way it can help people going for the first time know which ones they actually need to hit and which one to miss.
Awesome. Great. All right. Tom Bell, the host of our Disneyland Edition, also asked me to mention this week that registration is now open for the Give Kids the World fundraiser, Coasting for Kids. This takes place June 7th at Cedar Fair theme parks across the country. This is the 7th year Coasting for Kids is doing this, and the 3rd year that Dizzers have gotten together as a group to participate in the event. Excuse me. Registration is $25, which covers your admission to the park, t-shirt, and lunch. After that, all you need to do is raise a minimum of $75 in order to be able to participate on the day of the event. Links to the official Diz teams for each park can be found in the thread on the Power of 10 subforum of the Diz Unplugged forum on dizboards.com. We'll have a link to that on the show notes page as well. Last year, 34 Dizzers at 7 different Cedar Fair parks across the country raised over $7,000 for Give Kids the World. And that's great. That really is great. But it's not good enough. So, for those of you watching, listening, this joke isn't going to translate well. But for those of you watching, it wasn't good enough. I want more people and I want more money. Okay? I'm looking down over the top of my glasses at you, like my mother used to do when I was being scolded, complete with the finger. And she's watching right now, and she's going to kill me for doing this. These are going on California's Great America in Santa Clara, Canada's Wonderland in, I guess that's Vaughan, Ontario, near Toronto, Carowinds in Fort Mill, South Carolina, Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, Dorney Park in Allentown, King's Dominion in, is that Doswell, Virginia?
Doswell, it's near Richmond.
Okay. Kings Island, Kings Mill, Ohio, near Cincinnati, Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California, Michigan's Adventure in Muskegon, Michigan, Valley Fair in Chicopee, Minnesota, and Worlds of Fun in Kansas City. Those are all the Cedar Fair parks that are participating in this. This is all to raise money for Give Kids the World. So on the show notes page, disunplugged.com, we'll have a link to all the information. Please show your support. Go hang out. You don't have to actually ride coasters. You can raise the money and go hang out in the park and have fun. If you want to ride the coasters, you can. But a lot of people ask that, do I have to ride roller coasters? And no, you don't. You don't. There's no Give Kids the World police there, like at gunpoint, putting you onto like horrifying roller coasters. So it's all about raising money for Give Kids the World. So that's that. Does anybody else have anything for housekeeping?
I have two quick ones. Want to say hi to the family that I met in line at Hollywood Brown Derby last night. We were standing there, and the server couldn't pronounce my name, and Katie yells out, "Whirling," and this family goes, "Kathy Whirling?" And Katie just looked at me like, "Really? Really?" So, hi, they were great. I got to meet them. And I want to do a mom brag that my son, I told everybody here a couple weeks ago, but my son got the Legacy Award with Disney. He's been with the company for 4 years, and so I'm
That's incredible.
very, very proud of my son. But
You
it was,
should. It's a big-
it was
it's a
really
big
cute.
deal.
He waited till we were on the monorail, and he goes, "I got something." And I'm like, "What'd you get?" And he had it in his hand, and he like flashed it. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." So I'm very proud of you, Dan. And I'm proud of all my kids, but especially for Dan right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations, Dan. That is a big deal. The Legacy
It
Award
is.
is a very big deal.
Especially in 4 years.
I was going
I
to say,
know.
it sounds
Yeah.
like such a short amount of time in order to get that type of recognition.
You got to be good.
Where does Dan work? Or do you not want to say? I don't.
Disney.
He
Too
works
many
at Disney
fans.
World.
He works
Yeah.
at Disney.
Yeah.
Well,
All-
if
all
you're
of
so
it.
awesome, I just wanted to be like, people should go visit this amazing cast member.
You'll see him. He's in all 4 parks.
He travels.
Now and
Okay.
At the same time.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Transcendental.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. Anything else for housekeeping? All right. We did not have a poll go up last week because something was wrong with the software, the app on Facebook.
Yeah.
Was able to finally get that fixed this morning, thankfully. So we do have a poll that is up right now, and we are asking what your favorite lobby at Walt Disney World is. And I was kind of inspired by this because we've obviously been working hard getting the content for the 7 and 7 together this week. And, you know, as I was writing things up and kind of reviewing a lot of the content, I was thinking a lot about the lobbies of some of these hotels, especially since we did mostly deluxes, all deluxes really this round, and how stunning some of these lobbies are, how amazing some of these
They're
lobbies
important
are.
too. It's your first impression
It
of
is.
the resort.
It is it is the resort's way of welcoming you, and it can, in my opinion, can make or break a stay. A dirty, nasty, scummy lobby says, "I'm not going to have a good week." But you know, when you walk in, especially Wilderness Lodge, you know, you walk in, you're like, whoa. First, you can tell the first timers because they're the ones sitting there slack-jawed, you know, looking around going, oh my God. So we want to know what your favorite lobbies are at Walt Disney World. This is already, this poll is already going on. We've already got almost 500 responses. It hasn't been an hour yet, I don't think. And it is a neck and neck race here between Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Interestingly,
right now,
the same person designed both of those lobbies.
Peter Dominic designed both lobbies. Grand Floridian is a distant third at the moment, but this poll is going to stay open for the next week. And next week, I'm going to draw 2 names, since we didn't have one this week. I will draw 2 names from the people who respond to this poll. Each one will get a $50 Disney gift card as our way of saying thank you for listening and supporting the show. So head out to Facebook.com/disunplugged, and you can participate in the poll. and maybe you'll win a gift card. But let us know what your favorite lobby is.
I was there
at Walt
when
Disney World.
we were doing, I went back to get some follow-up pictures at the Wilderness Lodge. And you know how Disney usually puts everything behind construction walls when they're doing something. And I happened to be in the lobby when they were replacing the light bulbs in the big light fixtures that look like teepees.
I don't envy that job.
Well, they had like 4 lift things that were up there. And when they brought the light down, they had one sitting on the floor. You saw just how big that was, but they were also replacing, you know, like the...
Oh, tell me you got a picture of that.
Oh, of course I did.
Where is it?
I put one up on Facebook, but I was going to do a blog about things that only a Disney person would find interesting. But I sat there the whole time that they were doing the lights. Like, how many cast members does it take to change a light bulb? And they were...
Well, when the light bulb is, hanging 80 feet in the air.
How big was the light bulb?
Well, the light bulb, I mean, there must have
It was
been
a
like...
60 watt.
Oh,
There was like 12 or 14, I have all the pictures of this, but when they had it on the ground and they were looking at it and replacing the leather or whatever's on the outside, the hide on the outside, just the care that they went through to put this light back up in
That's
the ceiling.
cool. Okay, I'm very excited to see that blog now.
Okay. Yeah, there's...
Is it done yet?
No.
Is it done yet?
No, I said that was one of those things, little things that like when you go to a resort that you sort of like overlook.
That stuff, and that stuff
Yeah.
I love. Those little details like that, I love. Things you don't see every day.
Right,
Especially when you're there as often as we are. So, all right, so that's our poll for this week, and we're going to move on to discuss a couple of news stories. First, the rumors are running rampant that at any time now Disney is going to raise the price of a one-day ticket at the Magic Kingdom to $105. That is a rumor that is not confirmed, but the boards are all abuzz about this. And so let me explain what's going to happen. Disney's going to announce that ticket price, a one-day ticket price at the Magic Kingdom is $105. There will be a collective freak out on the boards. Everyone will say, I'm not going back anymore, and then
Yes.
they all go back to Disney World. Okay?
Exactly.
That's how this is going to play out. That's how this is going to play out, because I've been watching this for years. And I guess the reason I bring it up is I want to explain to people this is Disney wants you, in a way, to be shocked by that price. They want you to be shocked. Because I want to ask you a question. How many of you have actually bought a one-day ticket? Now, I understand every so often maybe something bizarre happens and you buy a one-day ticket. But on average, do you really buy a one-day ticket? No. No. You buy a multi-day ticket because that's what Disney wants you to buy. They don't want you to buy... If they could do away with the one-day ticket, they would. And the only reason they haven't is because they want to be able to say it's $105. And here's why. Because when you buy that multi-day ticket, it's more like $75 or $80, depending on the length of the stay that you have. You're not paying $105 to be in the Magic Kingdom. You're not paying $105 to be anywhere. You're buying a multi-day ticket. That's the whole thing behind this, is that Disney can turn around and say it's such a big savings when you stay 3 or 4 days. One of the ways that they killed Universal a few years ago, before Harry Potter opened, was when they made the difference in a multi-day ticket between 4 and 5 days. I think it was about $20. So people were saying with that, we definitely want our 4 days at Disney, but maybe, for 2 days we're going to go see Universal. Oh, wait a second. It's $100 to go to Universal, but only $20 for me to add another day on a Disney? Killed them. It was brilliant. But take a look at the price of the multi-day tickets versus, and average it out. How much is it actually costing you a day? That's what this is about. If they start charging $105 a day for a 5-day ticket, okay, then I think, people are going to truly freak. And then they'd have problems. But they're not going to do that. Eventually they're going to have to get there.
Do those multi-day passes also increase at all whenever they do the
Usually,
single park?
yeah. Usually, but not like not like the single day ones.
Okay.
Because right now it's $100. Mm-hmm. It's $100 for a day, so we go up $5.
Is this also going to affect the price of annual pass holder tickets?
Sure. Look,
Membership.
we know that at least once a year prices on tickets go up. And there's a reason for that. It's called capitalism. It's called capitalism. The reason they're raising the prices is because people are paying it. And that's the economy and the system that we have. And, it kind of kills me sometimes that, I'm going to get myself in a little trouble here, but it kills me sometimes that people are up in arms about the price of this and the price of that. Would you prefer socialism? Because that's your alternative. This is capitalism. And they're a company. They're a publicly traded company. They answer to their stockholders. They have to show profits. They have to show dividends. I take exception with the way they do it sometimes, but I never fault them for making money. It's a company, and if people they have record attendance,
Right.
and record profits, so they're going to keep raising the price as long as that's the case.
Right. They weigh out whether or not they think people are actually going to pay this or not.
And to those of you that are like, that's it, $105, I'm done. Ask yourself this question: is this really worth the stress you're putting yourself under over a $105 ticket? Is it really worth it? Because you're going back. We all know you're going back because you're the same one that's been complaining about it for the last, I don't know, how long have I been doing this? 18 years? And I was one of those people for a long time. You can go back 6 or 7 years in this show and hear me rant and rave about it. But then it dawned on me: if I'm not prepared to stop going, shut up. Shut up. Unless I'm saying, okay, you know what? I'm not going back. I'm not paying this money.
There was one of the threads, too, that said that was pricing out locals. But either, I think as a local, well, I can't speak for all locals because I'm at the parks quite often, but most locals are going to go either more than once and get a season pass, a season Florida pass,
Yeah.
or they're not going to go at all.
There are
it's-
so many options, too, in
Right.
terms of the passes you can get, depending on what it is you like to do. There's so many options with the passes. I have never felt that my annual pass was a bad deal.
No. Oh, they lose money on me by a
Exactly.
mile. And even if they raise the price a little bit, they're still losing money on me by the time you factor in the parking and how many times I go to the park during the year.
Plus, the discounts have gotten better. Once the economy shifted, I don't know if anybody noticed that, but they had all but eliminated annual pass discounts anywhere but the World of Disney at Downtown Disney. That was it. And then after the economy tanked, they started bringing it back again into the parks. And now, a lot of times I get annual pass discounts on things. Sometimes it's the annual pass discount on a hotel room. Save you enough money that it's worth it to buy the pass.
Oh, yeah.
But talking about the locals, my kids have been through elementary school, middle school, and high school here in Orlando, and I would say, on an average, some years my kids were the only ones that had annual passes in the class for Disney. Now, a lot of them have Universal passes, but not Disney. And I
There's
don't.
a significant difference in the price for those
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
parks.
Yeah, there is.
Disney just started doing, or I don't know, maybe not just started, but I think Universal has always had the
monthly option.
Yeah, the pay as you go, which makes it incredibly easy because you're just paying for that one ticket, and then it was like $14 a month. So
Yeah,
you're like,
Disney.
easy.
Disney started doing
Now-
it about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, and I think that makes everything a lot more manageable with Disney annual pass too now.
So, I'm, again, this is still speculative, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate. The other part of the rumor that we heard was that when they announced this, they are also doing away with the no expiration option.
I think that's the bigger deal of that story.
I think that's where they're definitely going to make more money.
You just said that. I went to the park last Thursday, and there was a couple in front of me at the guest relations window at the where you can enter through France down there, and they were trying to upgrade their ticket into another ticket and something, and they were saying to them that they only had 14 days to use it. which I
Well,
thought
if you
was
don't
weird.
have if you don't have the no expiration option, which costs more money.
Okay.
Right now, you can if you just buy a ticket, right now, it expires 14 days after first use, I believe. But you can buy right now the no expiration option, where if you have a 5-day ticket and you only use 2 days, those 3 days don't expire. Used to be that they never expired.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Back in the day.
Right.
But they changed that. They changed that about 7 or 8 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so now you have to pay extra. They're removing the option to pay extra, so you will never get a no expiration unless they'll grandfather in the ones that already have it.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's not going to be an option for you, and I think people are going to be upset about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're taking away their ability to pay extra money for a service. I mean, personally, I don't understand. I mean, there must be something in Disney's...
Disney makes more money if you have to buy another ticket the next time
true.
you come,
Yeah.
as opposed to that.
Well, because you could save the ticket. Like, my aunt came a couple years ago, and she's telling me she has these tickets, and I'm like, I don't remember the last time you were here. I think I was like 12 years old. So she had these tickets from like
Those tickets are still good.
Yeah, and so that's when I was like, oh, people must like save these tickets, come and use them, whatever.
But
Well,
that person has to use that ticket.
That person has to use that ticket, but I think they also have a problem. Part of the reason they may be doing this is that they do have a problem with people giving those no expiration passes to a friend or a family member, and then they try and
Yeah.
use it and they can't, or something, So
There's all kind of threads on the Diz too about if I have an old 5-day no expiration ticket, and if I use 2 this time, should I use the 3 the next time I come? Like how to play it towards another ticket. What works out best for them? So I think this way, if everything's expiring in 14 days, you just buy the tickets you need for that trip right now.
And again, even with this, I think certainly people are going to be upset, but what's going to happen is Disney's going to announce it. Oh my God! Oh, the world's coming to an end, and then everybody gets over it, and that's the end.
That's dramatic.
Have you visited Disney boards?
I know.
Yeah.
Have you visited my forums?
Sometimes.
But
And Magic Kingdom is the most expensive. Then there's
Right.
Epcot that's slightly less, and then Studios and Animal Kingdom are less than that.
yeah,
So,
at some point, if they don't start doing something with studios, they're going to have to start paying me to go in there.
yeah.
But all right, let's move on to the next one. Star Wars Day at Sea for 2016. This was announced last week, I believe it was, that they were going to, starting in 2016 on select sailings. Disney Cruise Line is going to be doing these Star Wars Days at Sea, and they are planned for 8 sailings on the Disney Fantasy. On each of the included sailings, one day will be designated as Special Star Wars Day. Celebration will include a deck party, youth activities, special foods, beverages, and merchandise, Star Wars character meet and greets, screenings of Star Wars films, and the Disney XD show Star Wars Rebels. This will be the first time Star Wars characters have appeared on the Disney ships. The sale dates are January 9th, January 23rd, February 6th, February 20th, March 5th and 19th, April 2nd and 16th of 2016. They're all 7-night Western Caribbean itineraries, and these are selling out like crazy.
Yes.
Like light speed.
I was stunned. I mean, I figured it would be popular. I didn't think this was going to bomb.
Right.
But folks, if this is something that interests you, you better book now,
Oh, yeah.
because these ships are filling. What?
Did you book yours, Dustin?
No, I have not.
I
booked
thought
one.
day one you would have been on that thing.
These are filling up, and just so you understand the way Disney Cruise Line and all cruise lines work. Early on, when they first announced the sailing, that's the cheapest the price is going to be. It's a tier 0 price, and they go up to tier 5. And I would not be surprised if these sailings aren't already at tier 4,
At least, yeah.
if not tier 5, and
A
tier
lot of
5 being the
interest.
most expensive. So
I have a question concerning this. The dates that they're selling, are some of those dates close enough where when people get off of their Star Wars cruise, they can come right into Walt Disney World for Star Wars weekends?
no, because Star Wars Weekends is in May,
Okay.
and this ends in April.
Okay.
So no, but they're not gonna. They're doing this. The time of year they're choosing to do this is very telling. These are sailings where they need help. They needed help, and they don't need help anymore.
Nope.
No.
And those early sailings, because right after Christmas, everything kind of dies
Yeah.
down, depending on where you are. And so these were areas where they needed that boost.
Just picturing Darth Vader frolicking on the beach. Castaway.
In
Yeah.
shorts.
What does this
Yeah.
swimwear look like?
Yeah, really.
Is it a
Like
one
a little
piece?
bikini. And, is...
Slave Leia in her bikini.
Yeah.
I don't
Wookiee
think
out there in the
Just-
water.
Not Carrie Fisher now. The Slave Leia. No. Bless
This
her
is
heart.
just what scares me, though, about Disney having Star Wars. Yeah, there's good parts where they're making new movies with big-name directors, but now a day at sea, like,
You don't
Why,
like it?
why does that worry you? I love that idea.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily opposed to the idea at all. I think it sounds kind of cool. But, again, if they beat it into the ground, where, everything is Star Wars all the time, depending on how well the reboot does, that may very well happen. We may have another Frozen on our hands. In terms of Star Wars.
What I do like about what they're saying about the cruises is that it's just for one day. So in a way, it's almost kind of like Pirates Night. Everybody has that one day to be able to get excited about it, and then it's not really a part of your cruise for the rest of it.
Well, that's been the question I've been seeing: is this replacing Pirates Night?
I doubt
I
it.
haven't
And we're
seen-
not getting an answer. I
Yeah.
haven't been hearing an answer to that.
They've put out a lot of information, but they're not mentioning.
And people are asking that. I've had
Yeah.
clients ask that.
So
Am I going to
the-
lose the pirate night?
Yeah, is the 7-day not say it still has Pirate Night, so it's just the Star Wars night instead of
Well, that we
Pirate
don't
Night?
know. That's we've been trying to get an answer
Interesting,
on
yeah.
that. We're not getting a straight answer, and I haven't heard any clarification. So there may be clarification out there. It just hasn't come across me, but that's one of the big questions that they're asking.
Star Wars
me
could
now.
take over Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique on the fantasy.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
A bunch of little Wookiees.
You get a little Leia.
Little
Yeah, little
Ewoks.
Leia. They're going to do it. They're going to have a little costume.
So, all right. Next story. This one really moved me. The Cobb family of Houston, Texas, is walking from Disneyland to Walt Disney World in honor of their daughter who passed away from cancer. Jonathan and Jennifer Cobb and their 3 kids want to raise awareness for childhood cancer and to remember Julia Cobb, their daughter, also known as Ju, J-U, who passed away at the age of 8 from Ewing sarcoma, a form of bone cancer. When Ju was diagnosed, they decided to focus on the first 3 letters of the word cancer and came up with the phrase Ju Can. Both Jonathan and Jennifer's mothers passed away from cancer, and Jonathan has fought it in the past. Julia was diagnosed at the age of 6 and fought for a year and a half. After a nearly successful stem cell treatment, she was making improvement when the cancer came back. One of her doctors sent the family on a Make-A-Wish trip to Walt Disney World. Julia woke up sick on the last day, was taken to the hospital, and passed away within 24 hours. So far, the family has been walking for 7 months and expect to reach Florida by May or early June. They began in August of 2014, and they walk 25 miles each day. Because the children are young, one parent follows behind in their Suburban for breaks. They are staying in hotel rooms that have been donated to them, and they are homeschooling the other children along the way. So far, they have raised $18,400 of a $413,000 goal and have walked 2,023 miles. We're going to have a link to for more information and where you can donate in the show notes page, disunplugged.com. But what an incredible story.
Yeah, that is. I mean, to take something from tragedy and try to turn it around and inspire you. And I said, when I saw that story, it's like hug your kids first and then go out and try to help this family. And when they get here, I want to be there. I want to see them when they come in.
That it's incredible. It's incredible, an incredible story, and what kind of along the lines of what you just said. What it made me think about is that whether we're happy or we're sad, it's all the same energy. It's all the same energy. It's where we choose to direct it. These people could have. I mean, they lost an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And I'm not a parent. I can only imagine what that's like, but I've got 3 at the table here who can imagine if you lost one of your children at 8 years old, what that would feel like. I can't even begin to imagine it. And you can take that energy and you can go into a place of self-pity. Oh, I've got them. Oh, here
You
they go.
really have to stop.
you could go into it. You could take that horrible tragedy and go into a place of darkness and let it tear you apart, or you can walk across the country and raise money for cancer research and cancer awareness.
And look at the lesson they're showing their other children too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was just thinking.
Wow,
They're
know?
gonna have like just the lesson they're getting. I don't
I'm
know.
just trying to imagine the magnitude of this mission. I mean, not
Yeah.
only walking across America, but walking with children
20-something miles a day.
and homeschooling them at the same time. I used to homeschool my children. I homeschooled for 7 years. I know the time and energy that goes into that. To be doing that in addition to, my mind is blown.
How old are the other children that are walking? Does it say?
I don't think the story says.
I read somewhere else. I'm pretty sure one of them is like younger than the 8-year-old was. So they're young. Like they're young,
gotta
and then
be young,
the
yeah.
other two might have been older. I could be incorrect, but it's like I can
But
see the
still,
article in my
nevertheless,
head.
my
but
gosh, I just
yeah.
can't imagine.
I can't believe I'm curious their route, like if you can look it up, because if they're moving, just walking and they're following a Suburban, they must not be on a highway or anything. They must just be walking back roads here or something.
I don't know.
I can't have bet on the interstate.
don't know.
That would be
Yeah.
kinda-
I think just the fact that they're doing it
It's amazing.
is
I can't
it's
imagine.
absolutely amazing.
That's commitment to be that. I mean, that's almost a year to just. It just blows my mind.
This story needs to get some real national attention so
Yeah.
they can raise the money that they're trying to raise. So, who knows who's listening or watching, but if you're in a position to give these people some ink or some airtime, this is a story that should be told.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love for them to see them raise their $413,000 goal.
I'd love to see a red carpet rolled out from Disney World, like to the Florida line for when they get here. Too,
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like some sort of grand gesture or something.
It's incredible.
I hope Disney does something too when they get here.
Oh, they better.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
I
I'm
mean,
sure they will.
how awesome is it? I said they took their tragedy and turned it into something positive, which is something sort of like the Disney message. It's all about family, and if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So I hope Disney steps up, and
I have no doubt at all
I hope so.
that they will. No doubt at all. So, all right, that is going to do it for the news. Are we good to do the next thing?
Yes.
We ready for it?
Yes, just one moment.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if we had all the elements together.
Okay.
All right, so we are going to introduce a new thing that we have been talking about doing for a while, just something a little fun. We're calling it, you queued up? We're calling it Disney Food Fight. Okay, for this food fight, we're going to do something simple and easy. Mickey Bar versus Dole Whip. Which one would you pick?
Ooh.
And we're going to be putting up a poll after the show. Very simple. Mickey Bar or Dole Whip? Facebook.com/DisUnplugged for the poll. We'll also try and get that embedded on the homepage. Kathy.
Dole Whip?
Rhino.
I'm with Kathy. Dole Whip.
Hands
Jalen?
down, Dole Whip.
Teresa.
Bar, Mickey Bar.
Mickey Bar all the way.
Mickey-
Dustin.
I would do the Dole Whip for sure. Do you want reasons?
I have no input on it. I want to see
Oh,
what
come
everyone.
on. Give
Oh
a,
my
I want to see what everyone
God!
else.
Get off the fence.
Really.
I don't have an opinion.
Let me see what's popular first, and that'll be my opinion.
They're both good.
Well, they
It's
are both
50-50.
good.
Yeah, but
but-
I don't-
Such a miserable
If there
set.
was a cart and the person at the cart said, "Craig, you can only have one," would you say, "Good day, sir, I have none"?
Probably, yeah.
I said good day. All right. Well, leaving Craig and his foolishness out of the equation. Dustin, why? Why did you pick what you picked?
Well, I think the Dole Whip there's something different about it because it's not like prepackaged. They make it, and there are options. You can get the float, or you can get the ice cream. And the fact that there's a special location dedicated to it, and I think it's better than just getting a bar that's wrapped in plastic.
Shut up.
No,
Teresa, you disagree?
I disagree. There's no chocolate in a Dole Whip.
Amen, sister.
And it's portable. It's on a stick and it's shaped like Mickey's head.
Well, there's not like a ball and chain holding you down when you have Dole Whip. It's not like they handcuff you to
No,
the
no,
spot.
it's the chocolate
It's
for
the
me.
chocolate, yeah.
It's the chocolate for me. So, all right, so you can head out shortly after the show, head out to facebook.com/DisUnplugged and tell us what you think in this round of our Disney food fight. Is it a Mickey bar or is it a Dole Whip?
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, had this. You came up with this idea, didn't you?
And then you
Or was
don't
it chorus?
It
participate?
was a mixture. It was started getting a little bit of traction after I did that article on the French fries over at the Outpost and kind of went through and ranked them all. And then Corey took that idea and moved it into, well,
Disney
let's
Food
just
Fight.
put it right up against each other.
Yeah, so I think this should be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to rapid fire. We'll start with you, Mrs. Whirling.
Okay, mine is Disney Cruise Line has now added a Grand Family Cabana on Castaway Key, and the price for 10 guests is only $966.43, but 6 more can be added for the mere low price of $53.75 per person, and you can't book it online. So if you need a Grand Family Cabana, they've got one for you.
That cabana was right next to the one that I had on Podcast Cruise.
Okay.
It is massive. Because we're looking at it going, what is that? And then she was telling us, oh, this is the new family cabana it's like the Grand Cabana. And I'm like, can we peek inside? And she's like, no, it's all under construction. And she's like, it's all, messed up right now. I'm like, oh, come on.
I
She's
hear
like, no.
they're also using it for some wedding receptions for the guests that get married on Castaway Key.
It's a good
They're
idea.
Using it for that.
It's a good idea. I'm going to tell you something. The cabanas they're expensive on Castaway Key, but my God, they're so nice.
Yeah, they are.
They really are worth it. If you want to splurge, do something special for yourself, those cabanas are amazing. We had my mom, my aunt, and my 2 aunts, my Aunt Edie and my Aunt Janice. And we got it last minute because I didn't book it ahead of time, and it was the day of my 50th birthday. And you want to talk about a perfect way to celebrate your 50th birthday. Having your family there, being in that cabana on Castaway Key on the best day
Yeah,
that I
it was a
can,
perfect
the best
day.
weather I have ever had on Castaway
It
Key.
was gorgeous that
perfect.
day.
And then, of course, that wonderful party that everybody threw for me, and then having dinner at Palo that night. Best 50th birthday ever. So, all right, thank you, Kathy. Rhino has nothing. Jenny Lynn, Rhino just found out when he walked in the door.
Okay, I was going to say, an explanation would be nice. So people aren't like, here's that slacker.
Gets off the hook like that. Someday I'm just going to show up with nothing. What would you do?
I'm a rebel.
I'd be in trouble.
You'd be in trouble. But he didn't know he was going to be at the table. No. He's supposed to be back there learning the controls.
Oh, okay.
So that I can travel.
Okay. The Richard Petty driving experience is closing June 28th. That's my rapid fire. We do not know what's going in. Disney has only said they're making transportation improvements.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to know that the reason for this is that Disney basically didn't let them renew their lease.
They wanted to. They actually don't want to leave. And the vice president of the Richard Petty driving experience has said they would like to find another space in the area to have the attraction, which means they don't want to go.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be really difficult for them to be able to find space like that.
Okay, see, I didn't realize it was Disney that didn't want to renew it
Yeah.
because I was just assuming like sales were bad or
No,
something.
it's very
No.
successful.
Wow.
It's
No,
a very
it's very popular.
It's very successful every place that it is, because this is not the only one. There's several around the country, and they're very, very successful any place they open them up. So
Anyway.
I'm sorry to see it go.
Yeah, they're making Disney transportation improvements. So I don't know if that means we're getting more parking spaces or a new entrance or what exactly is going on there, but
It's a big space, though.
it is. Well, it's in the middle of a parking lot, too. That
Yeah.
was kind of awkward. I always thought that was an awkward location, but
Yeah. All right, thank you, Jenny Lynn. Teresa.
Alrighty, Charlotte Olympia is launching a new shoe and accessory line all around Disney. The upcoming release of Disney's live-action film Cinderella. They've got the "If the Shoe Fits" shoe for $18.95.
I want to see you in that.
Yeah, free shipping if you ordered online, but it's $1,895 for the shoe.
How much?
Oh,
$18.95.
1,895.
Yes, for
I
the
thought
shoe.
you meant 18
Yeah,
period.
that's
what I thought.
Oh, no,
And I was
no,
like,
no.
oh,
That's
cool.
what it looks
What
like
the
based
hell
on
is
the
it made
picture.
out of?
It's made out of glass, I
Real
hope, because
glass?
it's beautiful. No, why would you do glass shoe?
That's what I was like, what?
And then look at this amazing little pumpkin handbag. Oh my God, it's so cute. It's $995. Happily Ever After shoes are only $13.65.
It's a bargain.
That's a bargain, but they're beautiful. And then they got this little clock, just under $2,000. Not pretty, can't say it.
Pocket change.
Anyway, awesome, huh? Little high end.
Yeah, a little
But
high
I know
end.
some people and some podcast listeners who would love this little Cinderella shoe. I can
Richard
see them.
Bunt.
Oh yeah, Richard Bunt.
He would wear that.
But it's amazing for the high end person who's got everything they need, I guess. Huh?
Awesome. All right, thank you, Teresa. Dustin.
Yeah, mine is actually, I think this slide might be a little bit wrong. It's supposed to say guests can pose with an Oscar statuette through February 22nd, which is the
Just on that one day.
day of the Oscars. It's already happening at the the Art of Animation building in Hollywood Studios. So if you want to have a photo op with a genuine Oscar statuette, you can go over to Hollywood Studios between now and February 22nd if you happen to be traveling then, and hold an Oscar and take a picture with it.
I got my picture taken with one last
Do you get
night.
to touch it? Do you get to hold
Yes,
it?
you get to stand there at the podium and hold it.
Cold?
There was no name or anything on the front, but when you go in the room, they go, "Oh, you won an Oscar! Congratulations!" And
That's
so
kinda
you stand there and you
cheesy.
get your picture taken, and I put my pictures up on Facebook. But the part that Katie found intriguing was Oscar is guarded 24 hours a day.
Well, of course he is.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I know, but we're there like, this is Disney,
Foolish girl,
But there
why
was
would
a policeman in the corner, and Katie goes, "How many people have asked you to get your picture taken?" And the guy goes, "Nobody." Well, Katie got her picture taken with the Oscar and the guy that guards it.
So
But the Academy would only allow it to be here if they had a 24-hour-a-day guard.
So it's nobody's Oscar.
No,
It's just like a.
it's just one
Well,
they made.
if they
It's
want
a
it back
prototype.
On the 22nd, I'm wondering if it's gonna be somebody's Oscar, and whoever gets the manhandled Oscar.
But it has,
Really?
it has the
Slightly
background
used.
up, so you feel like you've walked the red carpet, and now, because on Facebook people were there, well, who are you wearing? And I happened to be wearing my Diz shirt,
Who are you wearing?
so it's cute.
Target.
It's cute. All right, Dustin.
I just went.
That's right. Sorry, Craig.
So a cooking safari with Mickey book is coming to Animal Kingdom for anyone to buy that wants to cook some of their favorite recipes from Animal Kingdom theme park as well as Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. It includes
It's recipes for
African-inspired recipes.
For endangered animals.
That's
Yeah,
what it looks
I mean,
like.
it's so if you're into those cookbooks, I see them more as stuff that people buy and then never use it because they can't find any of the ingredients in the books. But if you can find the ingredients, pick it up and make
Well, is
something.
it weird random stuff?
Well,
or-
I mean, it's African cuisine,
Rare
so you
African
can't walk
chili
into your
peppers.
Walmart neighborhood market and
I don't shop
pick it
there.
up.
Thank you.
Go to the African section,
whatever
I
you.
mean, it's not like
Sure.
I don't think they're expecting you to go to the market to buy zebra or something. I mean,
doubt there's
I,
zebra.
I don't think there's zebra.
Well, maybe in the zebra domes, but I doubt they'd give up that recipe. So if you like those books, buy it.
I was going to make a
Eventually.
zebra noise, but I don't know what zebras
Well, I
sound like.
need this because I do collect cookbooks, and I
Cool.
think this would be awesome. So that's a little
Cool.
gift you could get me there, Craig.
Cool.
Not to you.
All right. All right. Before we close out, I want to spend some time talking about Best Friends Pet Care. This is the kennel that is on Disney property. While we were doing the 7 and 7, I needed some place to put Abigail, my golden retriever, and who is now 6 months old, and just gorgeous. She's just such a beautiful dog and so smart. But she's still a puppy, and she's a big puppy now. She's a 40-plus pound puppy, and she is just too hyper for my mother to take care of her. Once she gets a little older and calms down, it's different. But right now, it's just too dangerous to let my mom. My brother Kevin, when he's home, can handle her, but Mom, it's just too much, and I'm worried that she's gonna hurt her, not intentionally, just knock her over or something like that. So I decided that it would be a good opportunity for me to check this place out. This is my first time boarding her, and I'm not a fan of boarding at all. I don't like it. I would much rather she stay with family or someone I know. But in this case, I decided I had to bite the bullet, so to speak, and kennel her. So, I was a nervous wreck dropping her off. Everybody, on Facebook told me, we've used them, they're great, they're wonderful. I'm like, okay, that's fine for you, but I probably will hate this. One of the things I really liked is that I could call whenever I needed to. And they would, tell me exactly what's been going on, how she's been doing, how she's been eating. Every couple of days, I would get an email from them with pictures of what was happening, and I'm having a good time. But also, I could go over and visit with her whenever I wanted. And I could take her out into the pen. They have a fenced-in area where she could run, and that was her first time really running off leash. And so taking the tennis ball, they have tennis balls and little water fountains and
neat.
Little play areas for them. And you take the tennis ball and throw it, and we were just, she was just in heaven.
Does she have interaction with other little dogs?
No, she couldn't because she was too young to be spayed.
Oh, okay.
So if they're not spayed or neutered, you can still put them there, but they cannot.
Okay.
They cannot engage in other puppy playtime.
Yeah, that would be a memorable Disney
Because
trip.
otherwise, I end up with 4 or 5 souvenirs later. Now, as kennels go, as you can imagine, this is not inexpensive. Okay. Also, keep in mind, I had to put her in a villa. So she was in. We have a picture being shown right now of one of the villas.
Oh,
so
it doesn't look like her.
Fairly large. It's a fairly large space. It's got a flat screen television in it that seemed to be repeatedly playing the same 10 minutes of 101 Dalmatians.
Aw.
And then there's like a little outside patio she could go out onto.
Oh, geez.
That was all. It was caged in, but it was outdoor. And so this was in the villa's wing, and she had her own puppy concierge. I'm not kidding.
God. Did you have to bring your food?
No, they provide the food. They actually suggest that you don't bring food, that they'll take care of it.
Okay.
You can bring any treats, things like that that you
Okay.
want, bedding, toys, that stuff. We brought all that stuff for her, and so that she had some familiarity from home. And yeah, the prices on this stuff for a standard, they have like the indoor area, like the indoor boarding, $41 a day, or $39 a day if you're a resort guest.
That's a cage, right? A cage on a wall of a bunch of other
Basically, yeah,
cages.
it's
Okay.
kind of. Then you have indoor-outdoor dog boarding, which is $48 regular, $44 if you're a resort guest. The vacation villas for dogs only, because you can bring your dog, you can bring your cat, you can bring your rabbit, you could bring your ferret.
You can bring a cat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have a whole wing for cats, and it's completely away from where the dogs are.
Okay.
So they don't hear the dogs barking, and they're
yeah.
not getting scared with all of that. So the vacation villas for dogs only includes 1 potty walk, play group, a flat screen TV, and a turn-down biscuit at night.
Aw.
And that's $72 standard and $66 for resort guests. Then the VIP luxury suites, which weren't available.
Or
She
you
had
would
the
have done
vacation
that.
villas. I would have absolutely
Oh, I
done
know
it.
you would have done that.
Also for dogs only, that's 2 potty walks, 2 play groups, flat screen TV, webcam, bedtime story, and a go home fresh shampoo service after a 3-night stay. That's $89 a night, a standard $81 for resort guests.
I think that's actually the photo we have up here is the that one you just said.
That's the
VIP.
VIP.
And like you said, they have webcams, so you can check in on.
Looks
None of the
real
others
modern.
have webcams.
Yeah. Now, if you're not doing that one, if you're doing one of the other ones, but you want to add other services like a play group, extra playtime, extra cuddle time, extra walk and explore, a bedtime story, an ice cream break, premium bed, holiday meal, all of which I added.
Holiday
No,
meal.
I wanted somebody in there. If I could have paid somebody to be in there with her 24/7, I would have. But I wanted the ice cream thing, and I wanted all that. And then what was it? It was the day we were leaving Wilderness Lodge and going to Grand Floridian. I get the phone call that she's got worms.
Oh no.
And they had offered that they could have reached out to the vet they use to take care of it, or
Come
but
get her.
of course, since I live here, I went, got her, brought her to my vet, and then brought her back. But I will tell you that I was very impressed with how clean this place was, how professional their staff was, how friendly they were, how well they got to know her. The concierge in that little villa wing really, really got to know her and spent time with her. And I could tell that she had gotten to know her because she knew some of her quirks and her idiosyncrasies. So it wasn't just like, you walk out and, they don't do anything and they just
Yeah.
make believe. You can tell when somebody knows your dog, because I know my dog. And when I think something that was very telling for me was when I took her out of there to go to the vet, and then stayed here that night with her because I just wanted to make sure everything was okay, and then brought her back the next day. I wondered, was she going to want to go back? That was going to be the ultimate test
Yeah.
for me. She'd been there for a few days. She couldn't wait to get back in there.
Oh.
She couldn't wait to get back in. Because I'm telling you now, had she pulled away and not wanted to go in, we weren't going back.
Yeah.
We were not going back. She couldn't wait. She was so happy to be there that I'm actually considering on a somewhat regular basis just doing doggy daycare over there and letting them take her for the day and
Yeah.
run around.
It's like sending your child off to daycare, though.
It is.
They need interaction.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And, I'm very protective.
I was going to say,
I mean-
didn't you feel better knowing that there was somebody always watching her?
Well, I mean, usually that's me because
Yeah.
she's never out of my sight for very long. Never out of my sight for very long. And but she's still that age where she has to be supervised.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's getting better as time goes on. She's getting better. But I didn't think I would ever find a kennel I was comfortable with. And because I've had bad experiences with them in the past. This place is great. It's expensive, to be sure. But I think it's as close as you're going to get to a hotel for your dog or your cat if you want to bring them with you on vacation.
What if you have two dogs? Can they board together, and is the price
Yes.
cheaper?
I don't know.
Or
I don't. That
it
I
would be
don't
like
know. That I don't know.
Probably some kind of
We'll have a
program.
link. We'll have a link on the show notes page to their website with all the prices, all the services, what they do for cats, what they do for. You can't bring anything venomous. I think was like the one restriction.
Oh, okay.
Do they
Well,
cater
it's
to like my little dog? He's oh my god, what is the word? Grain free. So I'm wondering like if they.
I think you would have to bring the food.
But
if
they'll-
there's dietary restrictions, you would have to bring the food.
I mean that makes sense to me.
But yeah, I think sure. I imagine. I can't speak for them. I don't know. I can just speak to my experience. They were wonderful, and I got to be honest. There's a part of me that, like, I'll be honest, I wanted to hate it. I wanted to hate it because the thought of leaving her with strangers, it doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I want it, and I can't hate it.
You're a daddy.
Yeah, I
I think
can't hate
most
it.
animal parents want to think that they're the only ones that can take care of their
Right.
pets.
Exactly.
And when
Yeah.
you can get them to a place where they really do thrive and enjoy it, what a peace of mind for you.
It is. It is. I was glad to know that she was someplace she wanted to be. She was happy. and that they were taking good care of her.
Now she has her own little Disney World to go to.
She has her own little hotel
Her
to
own
go
little
to.
resort.
So, if it carries any weight at all, I can give my endorsement to Best Friends Pet Care. Obviously, I have no relationship with them at all, other than that I brought my dog there, and it was I will say expensive. It's not. It's very expensive compared to your standard kennel, but there's a level of service there that you're paying for, and in my experience, I got that. I got that service. So, all right, that is going to do it for me for this week. Coming up next, Dustin and the team will talk about clever things you might want to think about packing on your next Disney vacation. So we hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again next week with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everyone, and remember, stay out of the damn lakes.